what's with some gemstones being so costly these days? Today, we're going more in-depth on colored gemstones, discussing a few of the quality factors that we consider when sourcing and recommending gems to clients. We are very selective with the colored gems that we offer. We source colored gems from our vendors in London and from around the world, and each gem is inspected at least twice by expert members of our procurement team to be sure that they meet our quality standards. We don't want to sell you a gem that is okay, that is merely of the color that you would expect the gem to be and looks fine. We want to sell you a gem that is a true prize, that feels precious and looks exciting. The most important factor is color, and for each type of gem, there are going to be particular shades and other variables relating to how the color appears that is going to make it more or less prized. However, color aside, there are three main factors that we consider. First up, let's talk luster. Luster has to do with the appearance of the gem's surface. It should look shiny and smooth, even though it's likely to have facets to it, and it should exhibit a real gleam. Most colored gems won't have as intense a sparkle as a diamond would, and the degree of sparkle can vary depending on the type of gem and its cut and polish. However, all of them should look lively and have an inviting sheen to them. In most cases, we want the gem to be transparent so that it's clear looking rather than cloudy or opaque, and we want the facets to be nice and crisp. What we want to see is that the light enters the gem, gets bounced around by the various facets, and then gets reflected back to the eye so it has a noticeable lively quality to it. Nobody wants a wonky gemstone. Let's talk about symmetry in colored gems. Symmetry, along with general shape, is one of the most important factors we consider when assessing a gem. For diamonds, it is industry standard for the diamond to be sold with the grading certificate, and the symmetry is officially graded. So if a diamond has a high symmetry grading, you can be pretty assured that the diamond is going to look symmetrical. However, it's very common for colored gemstones to be sold without a grading certificate, and this is the case for many of the gems that we would sell. It is also common for a colored gem to be cut in a more irregular way than a diamond might be, and often this is done to maximize the look of the color from the top and to retain as much carat weight as possible. And this can result in cut gemstones that may have beautiful color and sparkle, but a bit of a wonky shape. Some cutters will fashion specialty gem cuts that are purposefully asymmetrical, and these can look amazing. Yet we find that most people for their engagement ring want a gem that looks symmetrical and balanced. With this being the case, we give a visual assessment of the shape and symmetry to all gems that we consider, and we also look at their measurements. Exact numerical precision with regards to gemstone cutting is rare. However, we want to ensure that the gem has a pleasing shape and looks symmetrical. We also take into account the style of ring that the client is considering. If the gem will have a frame directly around it, whether that's a bezel setting or a halo of other gems, it can often be particularly important for the gem to look symmetrical. Otherwise, the frame will highlight the asymmetry. If this isn't really a consideration, and we found a lovely gem for you that happens to be slightly asymmetrical, we'll be upfront about this, and also about why we still feel this gem is worthy of being considered. Inclusions are like the fingerprint of a gem. They are little irregularities that occurred within the stone when the gem crystal was formed. They might look like little specks, clouds, lines, or like a crystal within a crystal. And they're also known as clarity characteristics. Taken together, they're kind of like the fingerprint or a birthmark of a gemstone. There are a number of different types, and most gems, like diamonds, will have some inclusions in them. Part of assessing the quality of a gem is looking at the type, size, color, placement, and relief of the different types of inclusions. Flawless diamonds and gemstones are incredibly rare, and only about 1% of them are deemed to be internally flawless. And this is when you're looking at them under 10 times magnification. When you get to the microscopic level, there are almost always some little things going on. With most gems, we're looking for them to be eye clean, so you don't see any inclusions to the naked eye and the gem appears clear. Aside from the gem being eye clean, we also want to make sure that it is sound for setting and that it doesn't have any inclusions that are going to make it more susceptible to damage. We generally avoid inclusions that are at the surface of a gem, and we also pay particular attention to inclusions that are around the girdle, which is like the waist of the gem, and that's where the gem usually connects to its setting. A notable exception to our clarity standards is with emeralds. Having a fully eye-clean emerald is much rarer than an eye-clean ruby, sapphire, or a lot of other gems. And so we're not generally looking for an eye-clean emerald. And emeralds actually are generally prized for their inclusions. They are referred to as the jardin or the garden within the gem, and they're part of what makes emeralds so captivating. So with emeralds, we're not looking for an eye-clean standard. However, we are looking for an attractive arrangement of inclusions, for a nice transparency so that you can see through the gem to the inclusions rather than a general murkiness to the appearance, and also to make very sure that the gem is sound, that it doesn't have any inclusions that are going to be problematic for it to be set or to wear regularly in a ring. This sapphire is in, this sapphire is out. Let me show you two sapphires that demonstrate varying quality grades. You'll notice that this one exhibits inclusions on the surface of the sapphire, which are highlighted in red. You'll also probably notice that this sapphire is rather meh and uninspiring. Its facets aren't reflecting the light back nicely, and it just isn't displaying the same amount of energy or life as the next one. The first sapphire is one that wouldn't pass our quality standards. This one displays beautiful luster and symmetry, and you don't see any visible inclusions to the eye. And this is more what we're looking for. We price our gems to provide strong value for the caliber of stone in question. You may find less costly gems elsewhere in the market, yet with us, you'll find fair prices on gems that you'll see to be a true wow instead of a mere meh. So if you're wondering why our stones are a cut above the rest, that's why.